Emma clutched the worn photograph in her hand, her only clue to her past. It depicted a smiling couple, their arms wrapped around a giggling baby. On the back, a faded inscription, "Our Emma, forever in our hearts." This photograph, discovered tucked away in her meagre belongings at the orphanage, was the only family she knew.
I yearned to find them, to understand why they left me behind.
Now, armed with a plane ticket and a heart full of hope, Emma was finally on her way to their last known city. The orphanage matron had warned her about the dangers of the world, about the possibility of disappointment, but Emma was determined. She had to find them, even if it meant facing the unknown.
I can't rest. I have to find them. I have to know the truth.
The plane hummed with a monotonous drone, lulling many passengers to sleep. But Emma couldn't rest. She stared out the window, watching the clouds drift by, each one a fleeting image of hope and uncertainty. She imagined her parents, their faces etched with worry, searching for her all these years. The thought fueled her determination. Little did she know her journey was about to take a very unexpected turn. The turbulence started subtly, a gentle rocking of the aircraft. Then it escalated, morphing into violent shudders that rattled the entire cabin. Panic erupted. Passengers gripped their armrests, their faces pale with fear. Emma, her stomach churning, clutched the photograph like a lifeline.
Oh no, please no.
An announcement crackled over the loudspeaker. The pilot's voice strained with urgency, but the words were lost in the cacophony of screams and the roar of the failing engines. The plane lurched violently, plummeting from the sky like a wounded bird. Emma closed her eyes, the photograph still clutched tightly in her hand, and braced for impact. The crash, when it came, was deafening. Metal shrieked against metal. The world spun in a dizzying blur of fire, smoke, and the screams of terrified passengers. Then everything went black.
Oh, where am I?
When Emma finally regained consciousness, her body ached and her head throbbed. She was trapped, her legs pinned beneath a twisted piece of metal. The air was thick with the smell of aviation fuel and the stench of burning debris. Groaning, she managed to free herself and stumbled out of the wreckage. What she saw took her breath away. The plane had crashed on a seemingly deserted island, a lush green paradise surrounded by the vast expanse of the azure ocean. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through her. She was alone. Days turned into nights. Emma, fueled by desperation and a sliver of hope, searched for other survivors. She combed through the wreckage, her heart sinking with each passing hour. The island, once a welcome sight, now felt like a prison, its beauty a cruel reminder of her isolation.
I have to find food and water. I need to survive.
She scavenged for food and water, learning to identify edible plants and finding solace in the rhythmic crash of the waves against the shore. But the fear of loneliness gnawed at her. One day, as she was scavenging for supplies near the crash site, she heard a sound, a child's laughter. Hope surged through her, so powerful it brought tears to her eyes. She followed the sound, her heart pounding in her chest until she stumbled upon a clearing.
Is that laughter?
There, in the middle of the island, stood a small wooden cabin, smoke curling from its chimney. And playing outside, oblivious to her presence, were two children, a boy and a girl, their laughter echoing through the clearing. As Emma approached cautiously, a woman emerged from the cabin. She was tall and slender, with kind eyes and a warm smile that instantly put Emma at ease. Behind her stood a man, his face weathered but etched with concern.
Hello there. My name is Sarah and this is David. These are our children, Leo and Lily. We've been living here for years since our boat was lost at sea. Please, come in. You're safe with us.
They welcomed Emma into their home, offering her food, shelter, and a glimmer of hope in her darkest hour. Life on the island was harsh, a constant struggle for survival. But with the help of Sarah, David, and the children, Emma slowly adapted. They taught her how to fish in the teeming waters surrounding the island, how to hunt for food in the dense jungle, and how to build shelter from the elements. They shared their meager possessions and their knowledge, nurturing Emma's body and soul.
I can't believe how much I've learned. Thank you all so much.
Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Emma found solace in the rhythm of their shared life. She helped Sarah tend to their small vegetable garden, her fingers sinking into the rich soil. She listened to David's stories of his life before the island, his voice filled with a longing for a world she never knew. She played with Leo and Lily, their laughter echoing through the trees, a symphony of innocence that chased away the shadows of her past.
You know, Emma, this island has a way of bringing people together. We're glad you found us.
As the year went by, Emma couldn't shake off the feeling of familiarity that enveloped her whenever she was with Sarah and David. Their mannerisms, the way they laughed, even their scent, evoked a strange sense of belonging, a feeling she couldn't quite place.
Could it be? No, I must be imagining things.
She brushed it off as a desperate yearning for a family she never had. But deep down, a seed of doubt had been planted, a seed that whispered of a connection too profound to ignore.